Have you ever noticed how easy it is for the human mind to turn against itself? You wake up already stressed. You replay old conversations. You imagine problems that haven't happened yet. You expect disappointment before anything even begins. And after a while, negativity stops feeling like a thought. It starts feeling like reality. Maybe someone compliments you, but your brain focuses on the one awkward moment. Maybe your life is objectively improving, but your mind keeps scanning for what could still go wrong. And the strangest part is this: most negative people are not trying to be negative. Their brain simply got trained to expect danger, because your mind was not designed to make you peaceful. It was designed to keep you prepared. And today, I want to explain why negative thinking happens, why just think positive usually fails, and how to realistically reduce negative thinking over the next 30 days without pretending to become a different person overnight. The first thing you need to understand is that the human brain has something called a negativity bias. Psychologically, negative information captures attention faster than positive information. And from an evolutionary perspective, this makes perfect sense. Thousands of years ago, failing to notice danger could kill you. But failing to notice beauty usually didn't. So the brain evolved to prioritize threat detection. That's why one criticism hurts more than 10 compliments. One embarrassing moment replays for years. One bad possibility dominates your thinking. Your nervous system constantly scans for problems because survival once depended on it. And this is important. Negative thinking does not automatically mean you have a broken mind. Sometimes it means you have an overprotective mind, a mind trying too hard to prevent pain. Now here's where negative thinking becomes addictive. Worrying creates the illusion of control. Think about how often the brain says, if I think about the worst case scenario enough, maybe I can prevent it. So you replay conversations, you predict rejection, you mentally rehearse failure, you imagine every possible disaster before it happens. And emotionally, this can feel strangely productive, because catastrophic thinking creates the feeling that you're preparing yourself. But psychologically, preparation and rumination are not the same thing. Preparation leads to action. Rumination leads to paralysis. And many people spend years believing anxiety is helping them when it's actually draining their ability to act clearly. Catastrophizing often feels productive because it creates the illusion of preparation. But most of the time, your brain is not solving problems. It's rehearsing fear. The brain is adaptive. Whatever you repeatedly think, notice, or emotionally rehearse, the brain starts treating as important. This is one of the most dangerous parts of chronic negativity, because attention is training. If every day you complain, doom scroll, compare yourself constantly, expect disappointment, criticize yourself internally, your brain strengthens those neural pathways. Over time, negativity becomes automatic, not because you consciously chose it, but because repetition built familiarity. And psychologically, the brain often confuses familiarity with truth. That's why some people become uncomfortable in peaceful situations. Their nervous system has spent so long rehearsing stress that calmness starts feeling unfamiliar, even suspicious. And eventually, the brain stops scanning for balance. It scans almost exclusively for threat. Modern life amplifies this problem massively, especially social media, because algorithms do not reward peace. They reward emotional intensity, fear, outrage, comparison, conflict, doom. The more emotionally activated you are, the longer you stay engaged. And slowly, many people develop a nervous system flooded with stimulation. Think about what happens when you wake up and immediately check your phone, consume negative news all day, compare your life to edited versions of other people, absorb outrage, constantly fall asleep while doom scrolling. Your brain never fully exits threat mode. And eventually, anxiety starts feeling normal. A nervous system flooded with stimulation begins to mistake anxiety for reality. This is why many people today are not just mentally tired, they are psychologically overstimulated. Now we reach a deeper layer. Many people don't just experience negative thoughts, they become identified with them. There's a huge difference. For example, a thought says, I failed. But identity fusion turns it into, I am a failure. A thought says, I feel anxious today. Identity fusion turns it into, I'm just an anxious person. And once thoughts become identity, negativity starts feeling permanent. This is one of the reasons positive affirmations often fail. If someone deeply believes they are broken, forcing themselves to say, "I completely love myself," can feel psychologically fake, because the brain rejects thoughts that feel too disconnected from lived experience. That's why realistic mental recovery is usually not about forced positivity. It's about reducing emotional fusion with negative thoughts. Instead of, "everything is amazing," the goal becomes, "not every thought is reality." That shift is much more psychologically sustainable. Negative thinking also becomes habitual because the brain prioritizes unresolved emotional material. Anything uncertain, unfinished, unhealed, or emotionally painful keeps demanding attention. That's why your mind replays awkward moments, regrets, fears, old mistakes. The brain believes, if we analyze this long enough, maybe we can finally feel safe. But many thoughts are not problems to solve. They are emotional loops to observe without feeding. And the more emotionally reactive you become toward negative thoughts, the stronger those thoughts return, because attention reinforces them. This is why fighting thoughts aggressively often makes them louder. The brain interprets resistance as importance. So how do you realistically reduce negative thinking? Not eliminate it completely. Reduce it. Because mental health is not about never having negative thoughts. It's about no longer obeying every negative thought automatically. Week 1. Awareness. Do not try to fix your mind immediately. First, observe it. Notice what triggers negativity, what time it appears most, which environments worsen it, which people drain you, what content changes your mental state. You cannot change a pattern you do not notice. Week 2. Attention detox. Reduce unnecessary psychological pollution. Less doom scrolling, less outrage content, less comparison-based media, because your thoughts are partially shaped by your information diet. Most people underestimate how much external stimulation shapes internal emotion. Week 3. Cognitive separation. Instead of becoming every thought, practice observing thoughts. Instead of, "my life is hopeless," try, "I'm having the thought that my life is hopeless." That small distance matters psychologically, because distance reduces emotional fusion. And week 4, behavioral evidence. This is extremely important. The brain trusts evidence more than motivation. Small actions change mental state faster than endless internal analysis. Sleep better, move your body, finish small tasks, go outside more, talk to people, create structure. Because action gives the nervous system evidence that life is manageable, and evidence slowly changes emotional expectation. At the deepest level, peace does not come from eliminating negative thoughts completely. That's impossible. The human mind will always generate fear sometimes, doubt sometimes, pain sometimes. Real psychological strength is not having a perfectly positive mind. It's refusing to let temporary thoughts define your entire reality. Because thoughts are not always truth. Sometimes they are. Emotional weather, nervous system echoes, survival predictions, old fears repeating themselves. And the moment you stop automatically believing every negative thought, your relationship with your own mind begins to change, slowly, quietly, realistically. So tell me, what kind of negative thinking affects you the most? Overthinking, self-criticism, anxiety about the future, or replaying the past? And I'll see you in the next one.